Do you have the go gene? Were you blessed with the go gene? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know, that thing inside of you that drives you to get your butt out of bed in the morning, to do uncomfortable things, to seek out discomfort, to resist sitting on the couch, zoning out, to resist simply doom scrolling on social media. Are you a self starter? Are you a self manager? And is it unique to a certain set of the population, or does everybody have this go gene where you just go? I was scrolling through the internet, as I was just saying that you ought not do. Of course, you can scroll through the internet. The internet's full of memes, and memes are incredible. What a amazing form of expression. People thought emojis were going to be like the new language, but I think that memes really are just a simple image, and the same image tweaked a little bit gets a totally different response. Memes are incredible. I love them. The simplicity, the elegance, the stupidity, all of them. So I saw this meme, and maybe you saw it too. We've certainly all seen that massive wave with the surfer just surfing this wave, and death could be possible. It wasn't imminent because I believe that he or she made it, but it was potentially there. And you've got the one surfer riding this massive wave, and then you've got hundreds of people on the side watching them do it. Now, the person who made the meme captioned it, and they made the surfer said doer, and they made all the people watching dreamers. And that's what made me think of this. It's like, what is it that separates that doer from those dreamers? And that's where I got the go gene. I was thinking, do I have that go gene? And I certainly do. I'm a pretty good self-starter. I don't need somebody telling me what to do. I benefit from it. I'm not saying I never need it, and I probably could use more of it, but I know that I have it, and I know that it's easy to recognize when somebody else has it, and it's pretty easy to tell when somebody doesn't have it. But then I kept thinking about it, and I realized, no, it's not a gene, it is a muscle. It is a go muscle, and everybody has it. But just because you have it doesn't mean that you're aware that you have it. Because there's a lot of people out there in possession of this muscle that are completely unaware of it. And then there's a group of people that have the muscle who are aware of it, who choose to absolutely do nothing with it. They choose to ignore it. Say, meh, no thanks. No thanks, go muscle. I'm happy just not going, or going a little slower, or going sometimes and not going at all other times. And then there's people that have it and are aware of it, use it sometimes, but have chosen to let it atrophy. Perfectly human. In fact, it's superhuman. It's what we all do. We all know the importance of things. We recognize something that we ought to do, but we don't close that behavior gap between what we know and then what we actually do. Superhuman thing. And then, of course, there's people who are aware of it, they embrace it, they love their go muscle, and they exercise it frequently as possible, certainly on a daily basis. So the go muscle. And then I kept thinking about it, and it brought me back to that whole feeling versus doing. And that's what that surf meme was talking about. The doer, that's obviously a doer. But when they said dreamers, I think that that's more of a feeler because dreaming is a really good thing. It's awesome to sit and visualize and to think about what you want your life to be like, how you want your life to look. That's what goal setting is, right? Is we're just visualizing our desired future, and then we're making plans to bring that desired future into our current reality. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing. But if all we're doing is dreaming, if all we're doing is thinking and there's never any action, well, that's not a good thing. But I think it's even worse when feeling, and our feelings are what are driving our behaviors. You're familiar with the idea that we don't want the tail to wag the dog. We want the dog to be wagging the tail. And in this story example, in this story example, In this scenario, feelings are the tail and they wag the entire dog, not feeling like it. And there's a lot of this going on today. I dislike immensely the whole vibes thing. It's a vibes thing. I don't even know what that means. A vibes thing. Maybe that's my problem. Vibes. I don't even understand what it is. I understand what it is. Calm down, everybody. I understand what vibes are. I am just disinterested in having my feelings dictate my behavior. I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's the truth. Feelings are amazing. Feelings are what drive us to do most of what we do. Our emotions, our wants, our desires. But we don't want our behavior to be contingent on whether or not I feel like it. No, I want to have a really deep understanding of what matters to me, what must be done in service of what matters to me, and then I do what's necessary in service of what I want. That's what this is all about. It's the doing. So, awesome. I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm elated. I'm pissed. I'm scared. I'm nervous. Whatever. Feel all of it. Let it run through you. Embrace it. And then do what must be done in service of what it is that you want, in service of what matters. I'm really fond. I'm really fond of saying that I'm a human doing who's working to become a human being. And I realized, I don't know how long it's been, that my spirit animal is the beaver. And that is because there's no sentiment with the beaver. The beaver does what the beaver does. And what the beaver does is it builds dams. What the beaver needs is wood, and then it makes a dam. So it gathers wood, and then it makes a dam. And it's irrelevant. I bet you could put a beaver in Times Square. And what's going to happen? It's going to acquire wood, and then she's going to make a dam. That's just how it's going to go. So the beaver does not care about feelings. It doesn't care about the conditions. It doesn't really care about anything other than what it does, which is make dams. So it is a doer. It is not a feeler. Maybe it is. Maybe beavers are deep emotional creatures. Maybe they feel incredible. It's like there's just so much feeling going on inside the beaver. Do you think? Maybe, but I don't think so. Actually, I take it back. I hope that that's the case. I hope that they are deep, deep thinkers and deep, deep feelers, experiencing emotion at a level that I will never experience. And that while all of that is happening, they're still building dams. They're still executing on what must be done. Beavers are the ultimate doers. They do not necessarily care about feelings, or they at least do not allow feelings to stop them from the doing. And that's what this is all about. That's what the go gene, the go muscle is all about. In spite of the conditions, in spite of the circumstances, you, the doer, does what must be done in service of what matters. Does that resonate with you? Is that you? This goes to self-management. And I'm so passionate about thinking and talking about this stuff because I believe it to be true. And it's not, these are not my original ideas. I've got a couple of those, but not too many. But I'm building upon these ideas. Remember John Wooden, the really famous basketball coach, leadership mentor for UCLA. He had his pyramid of success. And the cornerstones were industriousness and enthusiasm, which is attitude and effort. So if you focus on what you have control over, which is your own attitude, so your mindset, your thinking, and then your effort, which is your doing, you are in control of those things. No one else is in control of those things. You get to choose. You get to to make these decisions, to feel the feelings, but do what needs to be done regardless of the feelings, regardless of the conditions. You can be that beaver who goes to Times Square, gathers up wood, and makes a dam. And if you do that, please take a picture of it and send it to me and let me know. The whole point of all of this is I believe it to be a good thing. I believe it to be a positive thing to possess the self-management skills to be able to recognize this is the way that I'm feeling about a certain situation. And I'm not going to ignore those feelings. I'm going to feel them, but then I'm going to do what needs to be done anyway. And if we can start doing that just a little bit at a time, that's how you'll start to develop your go muscle. You'll strengthen it. And like when we start exercising again or weight training, whatever it might be, the next day you're going to be really sore. You're like, oof, this is uncomfortable. And that's good. This is a wonderful form of discomfort. I think for the most part, not all discomfort is wonderful, but there's value in all of it. It's instructive. So lean into developing, strengthening your go muscle. And I guarantee it will benefit you in every arena that you step into, in every stage of your life, every different scenario. Nothing but a really positive thing to be able to do in the face of however it is that you feel. As always, do your part by doing your best.